We like to say that when you watch 3+U, generally you get good news. At least we try to put a positive spin on things, and we are not unique in that by any stretch of the imagination, because Mark Hite might have the corner on the market when it comes to putting the positive spin on something. He's here with the Mark Hite team. Good to see you.
Good morning. Local market, local 3. Here we are.
I like it. You know I love a play on words.
Yes.
Let's talk about the local Mark. Because you wanted to talk today about sort of this mid-year stat that you see with the housing industry, but this is where your local knowledge is so important, because if you're not pricing it right, you're out of the game right away.
More so than ever before, or at least the last 3 years, Julie, the most critical factor we're seeing is that if you're priced correctly, you sell immediately. We hit a record last month. The average days on the market was only 13 days.
That's insane to me.
And what you see, I mean, not just at 30,000 feet, but when we narrow it down, you see the home sells immediately, or the market rejects it and they'll go 2 weeks and not have a showing.
Okay, that's, I think, worth repeating, because I think a lot of home sellers might have gotten into this false sense of security, thinking they could just price something kind of unfairly.
Absolutely.
And get their house sold. And what you're really saying is, if you don't hit that sweet spot right away, you won't sell it at all.
That is 100% the case. And as we set and counsel with our sellers, the market is still very hot. Even though sales are declined by 4.7% year to date, you know, we have a small correction going on. What we see is prices are still appreciating, because the ones that are priced correctly sell immediately and for a good price.
Right.
But the ones that are fishing up here, they're just setting. And then, Julie, the sad business of chasing the market down.
Right.
At what point does it get right, and what point will the buyer say, okay, it's worth it now?
And is it because, I guess, if you are a buyer right now, you're pretty much stalking the housing market, I'm guessing. And so if you see a seller price something and then, quote, reduce it, do you have a sense of distrust right away when it comes to that house?
In a correcting market, the buyers figure it out first. The agents figure it out second, and the sellers figure it out last, unfortunately. So it's really important that we advise our clients correctly out of the gate. But if we don't get that right price out of the gate, then an immediate correction versus letting it languish for 30 and 60 days, because then something really is wrong with the house.
Right.
If the average is 13 days and you've been on the market for 45.
So you and I have not really prepped anything, and I might be asking you a question that's kind of out in left field, but you use the phrase we price it, we do this. When you are a seller and the Mark Hite team comes to your house, is it the individual realtor you're talking to who determines that sales price, or do you have a team of researchers kind of who know how to guide
yesterday I was in Rossville with a mature couple that need to get rid of those 3 stories that they're living in.
Okay.
And so, you know, we looked at the last 3 sales in their subdivision, very recent sales.
Okay.
And we wanted houses that had a finished basement, just like theirs. So we're really looking apples to apples. And then we could look and see, this one sold in this many days, and this is what it brought, each of them individually, and then came to consensus.
Right.
The right price to list the house, and my photographer's out there today.
Great. Now, you also told me, back to the positive side of things, you mentioned a minute ago that sales are down a little bit, but the pricing of the homes continue to appreciate. So a seller is not losing money.
Absolutely not. No, the homeowners have more value, more equity in their properties than ever before.
Right.
So, and Julie, we're not going to see a correction like we saw in 2009 and 10 where prices rolled back. We should see a stabilization in the increase. You know, the market cannot continue to sustain 20% increases.
Okay, a minute left. Part of the Mark Hite experience is not just you coming and talking and doing the research there, but you meet sellers where they are. So you've got that guaranteed offer.
Exactly. The 2 visits I had yesterday, one in Rossville is a traditional listing. They were taking pictures. The other couple are a guaranteed offer, and I make that on the spot. I inspect it myself. It's my money, and so I'm not going to come back and beat you up and try and renegotiate or hang you out with a third party.
Right.
It's me and my money, and we'll close on that house house in 14 days.
Okay, best way to reach you is on the website, or can they call the office?
Call the office. The 667-9385 is the
Okay.
direct number. My call center's open 7 days a week, so there's always someone there to get you.
And I know that we kind of focused on the seller side of things, but if you are a buyer and you're looking for people who know the market, they have got their thumb on all of it.
Absolutely.
All right, there's the number again, 667-9385 online. It's markhitehomes.com, or as he likes to say, local Mark.